Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Radio Show, a once proud member of the now defunct Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Two great things happen on this episode. I get to drive to Indianapolis to interview Ryan Niemiller, who's kicking serious ass on America's Got Talent, and Charlie Hester is back in the co-host seat. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at WWSU1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
I'm probably not ready. Let's do it.
All right, I already started. Hey,
Bless it all done.
hey, welcome to the Live Radio Show. We are not live in the studio today. We are
No.
actually dead in someone's apartment.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, not totally dead.
no, I
Well,
have
some
coffee.
of us smell like the road. But
Shut your face.
hey, my co-host is back. Charlie Hester is with us for the first time in over a month.
I know. I miss it.
Slacker.
Have you found a sponsor yet?
I have not. I'm about to sponsor it myself. If things pick up at Wiley's is going to sponsor it, and we're getting you back over there
Thank
on
you.
a regular basis.
Thank you.
How much do you need?
I need $40 a show.
That's it?
That's it.
Why didn't you tell me that? I'll sponsor myself.
Oh, stop. But it would be better to have like an actual, like if we could get
Well, yeah. But
the deviled egg people to sponsor me. And then I'll just eat deviled eggs and, give us deviled eggs.
Right. Give us deviled eggs.
And then I'll
40
just
bucks,
eat
and
sriracha
that's-
deviled eggs the whole way home and like fart myself back home. I won't even need to put gas in the car. I'll just self-propel.
You'll put your own gas in there. Well, it's good to have you back.
Thank you.
And we are sitting in an apartment with Ryan Niemiller.
Hey,
Who's that?
He's some guy that's blowing up on
I'm
America's
from
Got Talent
television.
right
You
now.
might have
Yeah,
seen
he's-
that's my new persona. I'm TV's Ryan Niemiller. That's how I
Ryan
demand to be
Niemiller.
announced.
From
I should have
television.
announced you that way.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
TV's
not giving you
Ryan
permission
Niemiller.
to post this. We're going to do the whole interview, waste
Okay.
your time, and then you can't post this.
Oh.
That's what we're gonna do. I'm petty now. That's what I am. Hey guys,
you know,
welcome to the
Ryan
place where I
Petty
sleep.
Miller.
See, I'm writing that down. TV's Ryan
Thank
Niemiller,
you.
because that might be the title of the show. 'Cause
Thank
that's,
you.
That's really all we do on this show is we talk to people to come up with titles for the show and band names.
Okay,
Yes.
That's
cool.
really mostly what we do.
T-shirts too.
And T-shirts.
Yeah,
yes.
easy
I
enough.
still need to make that Braille T-shirt.
Yes.
I know.
I
Anyway.
need to learn Braille.
Let's talk about our guest. I'm so excited because I love this guy.
All right.
I do.
Well, go ahead.
No.
No, Ryan is here. He has opened his apartment up, and is I guess somebody's sleeping in the other room. We will probably wake them up by the end of the
Yeah, he'll pop out with the dog at some point, I'm sure.
What kind of dog is it?
It's like a little Bichon / jerk. I don't know exactly what it is. He's kind of.
The little ones are always like pains in the butt.
No, he's like he's not like mean, but he's very stupid, and he's very attached to my brother.
Aww.
So like he'll just like stare at the door for like hours at a time, kind of thing, just waiting for my brother. I'm like, dude, I'll hang out with you, man. Like I don't hate you.
Like,
I'm
what
like,
am
you
I,
can
chopped
come-
liver?
Yeah, you can come chill. Like it'll be fine. He's like, no, I don't need this right now. Just
Not even
That's
after
it.
he saw you on TV.
Yeah,
He's still
yeah.
not
That's
impressed.
The dog barely cares that I've been on. Hasn't said congratulations once.
What a jerk.
Yeah, right?
That's not right at all.
It's a big deal what I'm doing, and this dog doesn't even care.
That's you can't. Some of them you can't train. That's what it is.
Yeah.
My dog doesn't even act like I do comedy.
Yeah, it's
Never laughs at any of my jokes.
Yeah.
Which is like a lot of my audiences.
Oh my word.
So America's Got Talent.
Yes.
you are blowing up right now on there. You're going into the semifinals.
semifinals, yes.
Uh,
Which
Semi.
I think will air tonight when this airs. I think the semifinals is actually tonight.
yeah, because this will go out on Tuesday, September
Yep,
10th.
and that's when I
on the
perform.
radio.
So.
Oh,
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
got chills.
I know it's exciting and terrifying at the same time.
The only reason that I have the AGT app on my phone It's because of you.
Good.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
I did.
I
downloaded
I would hope that
it.
people that know and respect me would want to vote for me
Look,
for Team Comedy. There it is.
And I even have notifications, so I remember to vote for you.
Good.
And then I do that, and then I go online as well, because you can vote twice.
Yep. You can technically vote 3 times if you have Xfinity as well.
Oh, I don't.
There's like an Xfinity remote that I don't think a lot of people technically have, but you can vote on that as well.
Okay, well, I maybe will find some people who have Xfinity
and
remote.
You get like 10 votes
per platform, per email address as well. So if you have a personal and a work email.
I have a lot of bullcrap emails that I could... Dude, you're getting 1,000 votes.
I think I got like 5 email addresses that I regularly use.
Yeah. So it's per email.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get on.
A lot of people don't know that. They think it's just the one.
I'm going to have to get the other 4 going on there.
I was like, obviously I don't promote fraud. or making thousands of fake burner emails.
Right.
But if you have emails for
and
your
the time.
kids or emails for this one's a work one, this one's a personal one.
Because my work persona will vote for you the same as my at-home persona or my club persona.
I appreciate it.
Gosh darn it. Now I feel really bad that I only gave you 20 votes. I feel like I could have done more.
Well, I made it through.
Oh, well, that's true.
Yeah, just remember that for the semifinal.
Just know if I don't make it through, I'm going to assume you forgot.
Right.
It's going to be Charlie's fault. She forgot to do it. I'm going to say that on live television. I'll be like, Charlie! Terry Crews will have to restrain me. It'll be very, very intense.
You got a lot of snorting going on.
Yeah, exactly.
My favorite things on this show. That many snorts should at least be 1 vote for snort.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take that. I'm killing it then. I just won the million right now.
Absolutely.
Well, I am 1 in a million. But let's talk about you.
Okay.
Yeah, your first time performing on America's Got Talent, what was that like for you as far as what's going through your head?
It was. I've been using the word surreal a lot, which I think is a little bit of a cop out, but it's fitting
at the same time
because before I got there, you're not really you don't know what it's gonna be. I have friends that have done AGT before, so they were able to kind of tell me a little bit about how it would be when you got there and all that, but you don't know. It's so strange because you spend the day, you're kind of in a waiting room and you film some stuff and you're sort of with these other contestants that you're not formally introduced to, so you don't know people are in their head, and so you don't know who to talk to or what to do. So you're just kind of sitting there, and then they're just okay, come to stage now. And then you're kind of backstage for 2 acts before you, and then you go out and do it. It was crazy for me because the room itself was the most people I've performed in front of live. Right. Ignoring the fact that it's going to be on television for millions and all that. But it wasn't live TV at that point, so you kind of can forget that a little bit. But the room itself was 4,000 plus.
Which is a lot of people.
Which is about 3,000 more than my max one that I've ever performed in front of. And it's just this giant room, and you go out there, and then the 4 people that can change your life forever are just kind of staring at you and talking to you a little bit, and you're just
that's 3,900 more than my max.
And none of them walked, which usually, usually during yours, those people will leave, so it's only 50 at that point. But so he can make the jokes, but I can't.
I have walked 60% of a room that started with 12 people.
Nice, that's impressive. Actually,
burner emails and burner jokes.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, right there. That was
yeah. But you're just kind of on that stage, and then autopilot sort of kicked in for me. I didn't get really overwhelmed with the emotion of it until after it was done.
Yeah.
And after I got my yeses and got all that.
Yeah.
It was when I got off stage I kind of went, "Oh God." that actually happened. Yeah, it's
wow.
I think it's the cool thing about, I think the comics have a little bit, and when it comes to this anyway, a little bit of an advantage over some of the other acts on there.
Because you're used.
Because we do shows constantly.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to that point, you've done some really bad shows.
Oh yeah,
and so you're
thousands.
Yeah, exactly.
Thousands.
Exactly.
But so when you're actually up there, it's just a performance. Obviously the stakes are higher and it's bigger, but it's what you've done 1,000 times. A lot of these other acts, even though they're tremendously talented at what they do, they might not be doing acrobatic acts in front of live crowds very often.
Right.
You know, they're in a studio practicing and rehearsing, and like all our shows are in front of real human beings.
Yeah.
Real crowds see our shows. Yeah. So for me, it was just like, oh, it's just a bigger show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you kind of go, oh, no, that was huge.
Yeah, but there's more to it than that.
Exactly.
So with your initial and your secondary performances, were there jokes that you wanted to tell but you had to cut because of the laughter? Because you got a lot of laughter, my friend.
Yes. So I was able to do my act the way that my act was pitched and approved and written.
Gotcha.
So that was the nice thing. They none of my stuff was edited out. I think a couple like little filler lines were edited out, but I was able to do my act. Like they want you to do what you've got approved. Like they have like timing sheets and things like that. So like you don't want to like, because like, you know, like the normal comic thing would be like, oh, I got a huge laugh there, I don't want to, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm not going to top that with the next line. But for this, since it's like, this is what they've approved, this is what do what has been approved, finish up until you are stopped or you're finished.
Right.
So
don't run the light.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So I just did my thing. Yeah.
But that probably takes a lot of the pressure off, too, because you know exactly what you're going to do. You can just rehearse it over and over again and just go out there and then nail it like you did.
Yeah. My biggest fear about the whole thing, because like a lot of people have asked, because I'm, for anyone that's listening to this, like I'm not vulgar, but I'm a dirty comic. Like I use language in my actual show.
And this is why I love you.
Yeah, so it's not like I'm not squeaky clean comic, but again, I'm not vulgar, but I'm not squeaky clean. And so a lot of people are like, well, what, like, were you scared about like cursing or whatever? And I was like, well, no, because I'm not a sociopath and I know like what this is.
Right.
My bigger fear wasn't like cursing; it was accidentally autopiloting into like the next part of a joke that I would normally do. Or like, oh, this joke leads to this joke normally, and then I would accidentally start another bit that they hadn't approved, even if it was clean. So like, because like you only get like 2 to 3 minutes, 3 being on the high end of it, and so you take your act and you kind of Frankenstein it down to here's the meat and potatoes of what this joke is and all that. And I was so scared about accidentally throwing in the filler lines that work when you're doing an hour.
Right.
But when you have 3 minutes, you can't be wasting your time with that sort of, world building kind of stuff.
Which I think that's helpful, too, to condense everything down like it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a good skill to have that a lot of newer comics don't develop for some time.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, that is like one of my biggest pieces of advice, like, talking to new comics. Like, take your joke and get rid of probably 90% of it.
Amen.
Because you don't need it. I think it's like a misconception, and I had the exact same problem too. Like when you start, you think that the audience isn't going to get it unless you fully explain. Like, well, and this person I've known for 10 years, and they did this and this. It's like, no, just like you can just say your brother.
Yeah,
people know what a brother is, and it's fine. Just get to
most
it.
People.
Exactly. Yeah, and then people just get too wordy. They over-explain. It's like no one cares about any of that. Just set up, punch, and get out.
So when I heard that we were going to be interviewing you for this podcast, I wanted immediately, I knew what question I wanted to ask you. And I can guarantee that nobody else is going to be asking you this question. And it is the most important thing that anybody's ever going to ask you about your experience.
Okay.
So when the host hugs you, does the testosterone just rub off on you? Is that how it works?
Absolutely. I mean, you've probably noticed how much fuller and thicker my beard is.
Yes.
The last time you saw me.
I did.
That is directly as a result of Terry Crews hugs.
I think so. Like your hairline is no longer receding.
Yeah, it's. I'm virile again. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Terry Crews is the absolute best.
Oh.
Like it is amazingly cool that like he's kind of my buddy now.
That is
like we get along really well, and it's one of those things that like, I mean, you guys have been in the comedy business long enough to know that sometimes people you assume would be great people are not.
Yes.
And sometimes it's the opposite too. Sometimes people that don't seem like great people are actually sweet and so. But I can go ahead and officially say that Terry Crews is somehow even nicer and more welcoming than you would even think he would be.
That is awesome.
It's the best. Yeah, it's my favorite thing to do with Terry, because you do like little interviews with him a lot.
Right.
Is I try to crack him every time I talk to him because he's a great host, but like as a host, you have 2 or 3 questions that you want to ask, and you want to, so you're kind of thinking of those while you're talking to the act, and especially early on, he's interviewing literally 250, 300 acts that come through. He doesn't know all our backstories. He doesn't have time. Nobody has time to learn all of us ahead of time. So he's like trying to just think of his questions. And I was like, no, I'm going to make him talk to me as me. So I'm going to do something to crack him every time. And it's been so much fun because he's so just good, and he'll bounce stuff off of you. And yeah, he's the best.
Well, please give him my regards and tell him that if he wants to hug me, he can rub his testosterone off on me at any point.
Absolutely, I will let him know.
Yeah.
His wife might be a little mad, but I'll.
She can. It's fine.
That's for her. That's for them to deal with, not you. That's a them
she
problem.
Can rub off on her too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying no.
Right.
Oh, sorry. I don't want to get you in trouble with your AGT people.
Yeah.
But that was.
We might edit some of this out.
No, whatever. I'm not saying it.
As long as he's not saying it, then I can go ahead and say that it's fine to rub one off on Charlie.
Oh my gosh, I miss this so much.
Oh, sorry about that. I couldn't help myself. Usually can't. So you have a lot of shows coming up after you?
Yes, I am pretty much booked out for the 4 months right after. It was pretty straight, and then
because I know as soon as you got on AGT, I think Erica called you and said, "Hey, you want to do Wiley?"
Basically, yeah. We kind of. Well, I mean, we had talked. So I've worked Wiley's anyway,
right?
But it became a little the chance for it to be profitable. It's a little better for both of us now. But yeah, so I sort of have booked myself out for the next 4, and then after that, I should be getting on longer tours. Like AGT is one of those cool things that like it still draws at clubs for the most part. It's weird how comedy's kind of changed on that, because like back in the day, like getting late night, getting Tonight Show or something like that was like, oh, that means you're going to sell tickets now. People are going to see you. Now it's almost like late night's still amazing, and it's a goal of mine. Like I'd love to do it, but it doesn't necessarily move the needle the same way it used to, because there's so many people that have gotten a Conan set and a Tonight Show set and a thing, and it's just like now people don't watch that live anymore, really. They watch YouTube clips and shares of things like that, and it just doesn't it doesn't sell tickets the same way. But AGT is still one of those things that real people who never go to comedy will watch you on AGT and go to their first comedy show ever because they liked you from AGT,
which is good.
That doesn't seem to happen with a Netflix special or something like that, which is still awesome.
So now, does that put added pressure on you at actual shows that you're doing now?
A little bit, yeah. It's weird that people are coming on purpose.
That's beautiful.
Because for the first, I've been doing this almost 13 years. The first 12 years of my career, I was always a happy surprise. I was confident I was.
Is that what your mom told you?
Yes, exactly. Happy, my little surprise. But I was always confident that I would crush at a comedy show, but nobody was coming there because they saw my name on the marquee or saw me on a flyer or whatever. It was just more like, oh, I wish I would have listened to his name when it was said, because now I want to follow him later.
Yeah, or I wish I would have brought my friends.
Exactly. Now people are coming.
They go home and they forget till the next time.
Exactly. They're looking for Ryan E. Miller and every other nonsensical thing. But now it's like people are coming exclusively to see me. Oh, I saw you on television, so I had to buy these tickets. So the pressure is different, because if people aren't there to see you on purpose, you obviously want to do well,
right?
But you don't feel like you've let anyone down if you bomb.
Boom.
Or something happens. You don't feel like you're kind of bonus there anyway.
Yeah.
Now it's these people spent actual money.
Yeah.
And some of them are driving a really long way. So like
Specifically for you.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like now you have to bring it, and it's a good pressure. I work well under that pressure,
Right.
But like it's not that I ever really did this in the past, but like you can't. There's no days off now. Like you can't be like, oh, I'm feeling a little sick, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'll just kind of
Phone it
coast
in.
my way through this a
Yeah.
little bit. Maybe not do the full energy, but like now it's like no, you don't have a choice anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, every now and then it's fun to go in with something with no energy.
Yeah.
Really?
No, it's not.
No.
I do.
Sometimes it's like an interesting challenge, though, to sometimes do that. To be like, I'll see if I can do this without yelling, or because my act's pretty loud and it's pretty.
Yes,
like,
it is.
I move and stuff.
Helps, I think. It wakes people up.
Yeah.
People up.
Especially on AGT, like you only get like 2 to 3 minutes, so it's hard. Like I didn't want to just do bits.
Right.
It's hard to like leave a mark as a comic if all you do is like, well, here, even if they're great jokes, like here's a
Right.
bit, here's a bit, here's a bit. Thank you. Now you got to like be loud and
Yeah.
in there because you don't have any time. So
Yeah. You got to
gotta
make
be
that
memorable
impression
immediately.
really. Yes.
Yeah, because I've been very loud lately on stage.
I am not
Yeah,
surprised.
going. Please sit down. Stop
Yeah.
leaving.
Where are you going?
I'm not done yet.
But you know, I mean, I think that there is a certain level of having high energy that really can win a crowd over and do it
absolutely.
quickly. And I've noticed a change in my act since I've started using my headset mic.
Yeah,
And now I
yeah.
dance all over the stage and it's ridiculous. And yeah, so
I don't think I've seen you when you're.
you
wearing that
haven't.
mic.
You haven't. I'm a whole new animal.
I'm gonna have. You're gonna have to get back into the area soon, so I can get to a show.
$40, Don.
40.
$40.
Yeah,
I thought that was just to get you on the radio show. $40.
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
that's not my
That's
my
your
rate.
set price for whatever. Just
Minimum 40. Minimum
just
40.
any job. I'll clean
Any
your
job,
house.
perfect.
$40. So I'll fix your car. $40. I don't care. $40. That's
We'll have to talk after the show because my house is a mess.
Yeah.
Still.
like you have like the mentality of like an 8-year-old right now. Where like when you're like 8 years old, like if someone gives you like $20, you're like,
Awesome.
now if someone tries to give me $20, I'm like, do you hate me?
Yeah.
Why are you? Do you not respect my art?
Do you not know that I am Ryan Niemiller from television?
Television.
Charlie Hester, still get her while she's cheap. That's what
That was one of the first things I said to Ryan when I found out about the AGT stuff. Is I was like, oh
yeah.
my gosh, I'm so glad that I booked you. Well, I can still afford you.
Yep.
And I think a lot of us are feeling that way. So on that note, how many messages have you had from comics that you've worked with once or twice that have been like, hey, buddy?
Honestly, not too many.
Good.
At least not with any.
just this one that has
Quality
a podcast.
comics?
Well, it hasn't been too much of like anyone like. It's mostly just been like congratulations and
That's awesome.
It doesn't feel. And I'm sure. I mean, you know how comics are. We're all insane and
Yes.
and terrible people.
Yes.
And when it comes down to it,
Yes.
but it hasn't felt like anyone has been talking to me strictly because like, oh, now that he can help me do this.
Right.
And I have gotten a few. Hey, anytime that you need an opener, let me know, kind of thing. And that's one of those things that's like really strange because like I've been doing this long enough. I think every comic that's been doing this for a time like or has like in the back of their head like, well, if I blow up, here's the people I'll take with me.
Yeah.
And so like
So you already have your list now.
yeah, exactly. And it's like and it's not even anything against these other people because I know they're just trying to hustle or whatever, but
Right.
it's like I put it in the same boat as all of these random people because the messages I get more than anything, it's not comics, it's regular humans pitching jokes.
Ugh.
I got a joke for you. I got a joke for you.
no.
I got a joke for you. I got a joke for you.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, 90% of those comments, it's a T-Rex reference that I thought of when I was literally 4 years old. It's all puns. It's like all this stuff. Like it's awful. They mean well. I get it.
Yeah. They're
Because-
trying to help.
And I think because for a lot of people, when they do that, it doesn't make sense logically when you like break it down from our standpoint. But these people, they see someone like me on television, and they want to send me a message. They're like, I'm going to give him this joke because if he happens to use it for whatever reason, I'm a part of something bigger than my normal life.
Yeah.
Right.
And, I mean, also, it's a vote of their confidence that they want you to succeed.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, they are trying to help you.
Yeah, but...
So it's kind of sweet.
Yeah, I mean, it's sweet, but, like, I will tell anyone that's listening, just, like... Because it's, like, it's a weird implication because, like, I've been doing this 13 years professionally.
Right.
Like, I'm a road dog. Like, I headline shows. Like, I get paid. I pay my bills doing this. I probably have more than 2 minutes of material. Like, this was after the first episode where they showed, like, 2 minutes. Well, if you need any jokes, like, no. Like, what if... how sad would it be if after 13 years... Those 4
minutes.
jokes were the only thing I had done. Now I'm like, oh God, I got to do this again.
You know, I know a couple.
So, like, and it's also a thing too because like where it's weird is that they're not just pitching jokes; they're pitching jokes about my disability,
which isn't theirs to joke about.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's not that I'm offended, but it's like they don't know my life experience. They don't know why I tell the jokes the way I tell them because they're based off of my actual existence as a human. It's not like my life isn't puns. It's not like coming up with like, here's a clever word.
Hold on. I know you. It's kind of puns.
I like puns, but it's not my act. You know? So it's like people like they'll come up with these jokes like, you should say like, you know, you hate going to Texas because everyone's armed there. And I'm like, why would I do that? No, like, that's not what is that?
Oh.
That's nothing about me. That's nothing about.
Right.
It's just it's wordplay. Not even good wordplay.
Yeah.
Like, stop. So it's sweet and it's easy to ignore.
Yeah.
You know, like you just kind of go, thank you, and then just
Yep,
move on
move
with your
on.
day. But it's like, if anyone's listening, please don't send me jokes.
Yeah.
Like, I got this. I promise.
Yeah. My favorite thing to say and people don't do this to the level that they do to you, but I always will say, oh, thank you so much. I'm really flattered that you thought of me. Thanks for sharing. And then move on.
Right.
And never think about it again.
Yeah,
And never use it. Ever.
I have had one, and it was very, like, and he seems like a nice enough guy, but he's been pitching just, like, dozens of jokes. I barely read them, because I'll just get these huge message string. Again, I think he means well, but, like, for my Judge Cut performance, apparently one of the jokes he pitched happened to be similar to one of the jokes I did.
Oh,
so
no.
he thought that I used his joke.
Oh, no.
And I had to be like, no, I wrote that joke 10 years ago. I've been doing that joke for a long
Here's
time.
the video.
You know, like it's parallel thinking. Because it's a joke that I like, but it's not exactly breaking the bank of creativity. It's I just flew in from Indiana, and boy, are my arms missing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I like it, but it's not exactly like the most deep joke I've ever written in my life. But he had pitched something similar, and he thought that I had read, and I hadn't even read the messages that had all that yet. So I kind of had to be like, oh, dude. Because that got him excited to send more. He was like, yeah, here we go. And I was like, no.
I'm your partner now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
Let's go on the road.
Then he asked for part of your paycheck.
Exactly. He's like, yeah, I want 30% of the million when you win.
Because that was mine.
Yeah,
That was mine.
exactly. It's like, oh, no.
Mercy.
All right. Well, I think we're going to have to take a little break.
Okay.
And
No.
We'll be back.
I know, but it...
We're not going anywhere in reality because this is recorded ahead
Well,
of
no,
time,
I'm going
so
to the
I'm just
bathroom.
like-
We know
well,
this,
yeah, we
but-
know that. You need a break.
Shut up.
I'm thinking about you, Charlie.
It always goes way too fast when we record these, especially
does,
when
it
it's with
does.
people that I care about.
Yeah. As opposed to all the time as it's just with me.
I mean, no, I'm just kidding.
All right, we're going to take a little break. What am I going to play? What am I going to pretend that I'm going to play that I'm actually going to put in the podcast later?
$5 says it's Pottersfield.
It is not Pottersfield. Actually, St. Mary St. Michael has a new album that just dropped yesterday that is amazing. It's called Another Anodyne. I'm going to have to get you a copy because it is fantastic.
Yeah.
When I first listened to this, I was all up in my headspace, and I listened to it a month before it came out because I got an in with the artist.
Yeah.
And I had to pull over. It
Really?
is so. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful album. It's called Another Anodyne. I'm going to play one of my favorite songs off of it called Mr. Gray. It has nothing to do with the 50 Shades crap. This is I checked. I made sure. It's like, please tell me that my favorite song is not some reference to 50 Shades of Grey. No, it's actually The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Is what it's a reference to. So it's a fantastic song. So here's Mr. Gray from St. Mary, St. Michael. We'll be back here shortly.
Promise me you'd be my anodyne. You promised me you'd be my anodyne. That I spend with you, your words are cutting deeper still, even deeper still. I hate it, but I can't seem to find my peace. And so I breathe you in like a cigarette. With every breath you're killing me, slowly killing me. But damn it, if you don't taste so sweet. You were supposed to be my anodyne. You were supposed to be my anodyne. Like some modern Mr. Gray, the more I feed into your image, the more I quickly fade away. And I don't mind this hell I've crawled to. At least it's something that I know. But I can't help but feel there's more for me. If you just let me go. You were supposed to be my anodyne. Well, I need to find another anodyne. You promised me you'd be my anodyne. I need to find another anodyne.
All right, welcome back to the Life Radio Show. Wasn't that a good song?
It was
We
amazing.
didn't actually hear, but no, that's fantastic.
It's one of my new favorites, probably.
Perfect. I'm your host, Don Smith. We're sitting in. My co-host, Charlie Hester, is still here.
Hello, my lovies.
She hasn't left us again yet.
Shut up. Don't make me feel bad.
And we're still sitting in with TV's Ryan Niemiller.
Yeah, thank you.
I got it right that
That's
time.
the name of
Kicked you out of my apartment in a hurry if you didn't get it right this time. Everybody gets one. You get one chance.
Perfect. So we aren't going to talk about Charlie's news yet. We're going to cover that next time she's on because I'm going to keep bugging her, and eventually I'm going to get a $40 sponsor, and we're going to get you back on the live show.
Yeah,
every
that'd be
now and
great.
then. Yeah, so they don't all have to be pre-recorded.
Yeah. Or you can just come to my house like every 2 weeks, and we'll just record 2 episodes. And
I offered that. And
well, I know, but then I'm going to have to pay you $40.
That's okay. I've got Wiley's money. I am so
well,
broke.
you have television.
Yeah, I got comedy club money.
Well, but now you got TV's Ryan Niemiller coming
That's
in and
true,
doing a
that's
show.
true,
What is
yeah.
the date for that show?
That's September 20th and
20th
21st.
At Wiley's Comedy Club
At
at
Wiley's
101 Pine Street.
Yeah, that'll be the weekend right after the finals of AGT,
Yeah.
which hopefully I will be in if people vote
Yeah.
for me in the semifinals tonight
Exactly.
Yeah.
by going to NBC.com/AGT vote or using the AGT app, or if you have Xfinity, voting from the remote.
That's right.
Yeah.
I will do all
Or
of these
all,
things.
yeah, all of the
Yeah,
above.
you get 10 votes per platform per email address.
Baby, I don't even spread them out. They all go to you.
Yeah.
Every last one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
No, I'm rooting for you. But I've always been a really big fan of you.
Well, I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
We've had a pretty fun past.
Yep.
Remember the Craigslist ad?
Yes.
There's a story there. That
Don't
I
worry
need to
about
know. Okay. Moving on. We should probably go ahead and hit some news stories.
Let's do it.
What?
Yeah, that might even involve a Craigslist ad. I don't know.
It was
I'm
sweet.
just kidding. Okay. All right. What do I got here? Because half of these I don't even remember putting on.
You
here,
never
so-
remember them.
That's because it has to be new to me. It all has to be new and fresh and exciting to me. So.
It's news to me.
He's like a puppy.
Okay, well, since I'm actually in Indiana for this show, we'll start with this one, which I actually talked a little bit on last week's show. But I wanted to keep this one on here since I knew we'd be in Indiana recording this. Police in Indiana said a driver was ticketed when a dirty diaper tossed out the window by a backseat passenger struck a trooper's car. Indiana State Police Sergeant Stephen Wheels, which again, Wheels is a great name for any state trooper. Just
Yeah.
Wheels.
Wheels always makes me laugh as a name because, like, do you guys remember the Burger King Kids Club in, like, the 90s?
Yes.
So it was supposed to be, like, this, like, very, like, inclusive, like, oh, here's this really diverse group of friends that all hang out in
Burger King, but United Colors of Benetton.
Basically, yeah. The kid in the wheelchair was named Wheels, which is, as a child, like, I was, like, a kid in the 90s, and I'm like, this is probably offensive, right? Like I'm not offended, but this probably still isn't cool. Right?
Kind of glad I'm not in that group.
Yeah.
Anyway, Indiana State Police Sergeant Stephen Wheels said he was on Interstate 65 in Johnson County when a soiled diaper flew out the back seat window of a car in front of him and bounced off his squad car. I was heading home after working the Indiana State Fair, which probably had its own share of crap, tired and wasn't really expecting it. Because why would you be?
Yeah. I don't know. That seems pretty unprepared. I am constantly expecting to be hit with a dirty diaper when I'm driving.
I would think as a state trooper, you probably would expect that from time to time.
Yeah.
Just-
Shouldn't it be like a Boy Scouts kind of thing? Like you should always be prepared for everything.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. He told the Indianapolis Star, it hit my car and bounced a couple times. It's not something I could really let fly. Wheels said he ticketed the driver. His patrol car was not damaged. Well, that's fortunate. Just a crappy day at work, I guess.
Gosh.
Wow. So,
And my pen's dead.
do you need a pen?
Nope.
I have pens. No, I have pens.
It's good. We're good. No pen crisis.
I have Sharpies.
Sharpie's not.
I always keep Sharpies because one day I'm going to be famous and need them. Do you have a Sharpie?
That's true. That's true.
No.
Why?
I don't know.
You should. Your TV's Ryan Niemiller.
Yeah,
Right,
but
right.
I'm still like JV famous. Like I haven't figured. Hey, puppy.
Hi, baby.
Hey, is that the jerk you were talking?
This is the jerk dog that we talked about earlier.
Doesn't even care about your sudden fame.
Yep. And there's my jerk brother as well.
All right,
Hello.
awesome.
Hello.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, what else we got? Dairy Queen has had to oddly clarify that the store's food does not contain human meat after one of South Carolina restaurants was swarmed by federal agents last week. At Dairy Queen, we're proud of our 100% beef hamburgers, the fast food chain tweeted on Friday. We served a high-quality hamburger with no additives or fillers, or apparently human meat. The statement was in response to a news story published by the Index Journal of Greenwood, South Carolina, reporting that someone complained about human meat inside a burger at a local Dairy Queen. Manager Saif Mumin said that around 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday, federal agents from the FBI and Homeland Security, as well as local South Carolina officials, appeared in the store in Greenwood. He told the news outlet a corporate inspector told him someone complained that there was human meat in a burger.
You know, I'm going to tell you, with like most of my food, like I would feel better if more restaurants would just randomly come out occasionally and be like, by the way, still no human meat.
Yep, we're not.
Just like once a year, like Wendy's comes out and it's just like, hey.
Wendy's should be one that does
No
that
human meat.
Because didn't they find a thumb in their chili at one
Oh,
point?
I think it was
or
like
something
years ago.
Yeah,
That actually made me go more. I need another thumb. So now I'm hoping that every time I go there, I'm like, today's the day. Give me the chili, please.
Give me
Large
that
chili. And I'm like, dang it. Just delicious food. That's all it is.
We need to do. They need to have you as a sponsor, and you can be like, Wendy's, no thumbs in our meat.
That's brilliant.
Love it. Love it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give you a joke. Am I being?
Yeah. Way to go.
I know.
You're like, just don't DM it to me. Just don't send it.
I already sent it. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
You can use that in the final.
I can use that in the file. Good. Thank you. I'll
Yes.
let them know.
And then I get 30%. Okay,
Right. Or at least credit.
$40.
40 bucks. Yeah, you get 40 bucks.
I get $40.
Yep. But keep forgetting, $40 is the minimum. St. Louis bar patron is being called the world's chillest man for the unfazed way he dealt with an armed robber on Monday. Tony Tovar was at a neighborhood bar called Behrman's. When a gunman entered, the robber demanded all customers and staff get on the ground and hand over cash and phones. However, Tovar didn't flinch or do much of anything else. Surveillance video obtained by Inside Edition shows Tovar continuing to sit at the bar, sipping his beer and checking his phone. Tovar didn't even flinch when the gunman stuck the weapon into his side and tried to grab his phone. Instead, he pulled it back and calmly lit a cigarette. Not what he was expecting, I would imagine.
See, I don't know if that's the chillest man or just the guy who just has nothing left to lose.
That would be my
It sounds
guess.
like he's more just accepted his fate no matter what happens. in
This
his
sounds
life.
like the opening scene of a Quentin Tarantino movie, to be real honest.
It does. That's,
Yeah.
Now you're giving Tarantino ideas.
$40 Tarantino,
We
$40.
know he's listening. He always listens to the podcast that are
Religiously,
out of date in a while.
weekly.
Absolutely, yeah. That's where he gets most of his best ideas. from.
Terry Crews in a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Oh, let's see. A Georgia probation officer has resigned, and her friend has been arrested for borrowing the officer's badge and gun to get free snacks at a Quick Trip.
That's smart as hell.
Exactly. WSB TV reports 33-year-old Pectra Lakeisha Edgerton was arrested and charged with impersonating an officer. Gwinnett County police officer J.T. Smith says he saw Edgerton inside a Quick Trip with a badge and a gun requesting free snacks, and her actions seemed suspicious. Smith's body cam footage shows he pulled Edgerton over and she was still wearing the badge. The footage shows Edgerton admitting that her passenger, Brandy Green, was an officer with the Department of Community Supervision who let her borrow the gun and badge. I guess my question is, if that officer was in the car with you, why did you have to go in with the gun and badge to get the free snacks?
Why did you need the gun?
in case they didn't get the free snacks. They were getting free snacks one way or another.
Yeah, that was Plan B for the snacks.
I'd say at that point that was plan like D or F. That was I wouldn't give that one a B.
I don't know. I would think most people that are going to come up with a plan like that, though, that was probably Plan A, and they had to be talked down.
Yep. How about we just try this first?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to go to jail for 20 years for $12 worth of Funyuns. That's a good idea today.
Funyuns.
Oh, we talked a little bit about Florida Man already, and this one, this is typical Florida Man story here.
God, I
we
love
did
Florida.
before the show.
Yeah, before we started.
Yeah, before we started, so nobody knows what we're talking about, but they know Florida Man.
This is a callback to something that no one will ever hear or care about.
We love to do that on this show, actually, because I put it out as 2 separate podcasts. When I do a 2-hour-long show, I do an hour each, and usually I'll make references in the second hour to the stuff we discussed in the first hour. That way it makes people go back and listen to other episodes.
Or
just turn it
not.
off.
Or just be like, this is too highbrow for me.
Yeah,
This is too.
I can't do this. They're doing
Highbrow.
callbacks with shows that I haven't listened to, and this is too much.
I'm a busy guy. I got things to do. I can't be listening to podcasts all day.
Oh, where was I? A Florida man apparently didn't appreciate being told to flush the toilet in another person's home after using it. He allegedly threatened the fellow who complained by threatening to chop him with a machete. The suspect, 46-year-old Keith Mounts, later offered this all-too-appropriate explanation to police. Crap happens. It's not really what he said, but we're on the radio, so I can't move on. As a result of the crappy situation, Pasco County Sheriff's deputies arrested Mount Saturday on a felony aggravated assault charge. The alleged incident occurred at the unnamed victim's home in Hudson, located about 30 miles north of Tampa. Newsweek got the straight poop from the sheriff's office spokesperson. I can't even finish this. The suspect didn't flush, and when the victim called him on it, the suspect threatened him with a machete, the spokesperson said. Because that's a serious...
That is some high escalation over.
I did not realize how easy it is to cut someone in half with a machete.
Gosh.
You didn't? I carry one
It's a
in my
line
car.
from Walk Hard. I have to, anytime
Oh,
somebody
okay,
talks about a
okay.
machete, I always have to quote
Okay.
John C.
I guess-
Reilly.
well, we've never discussed a machete before then.
Yeah, we have.
We have?
Yeah.
And I don't remember that
Because you
quote.
keep. Oh, I can't say that. Can I?
What's that?
What? Your truck machete?
Oh, yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine. Well, it's in my car right now. You got to keep it within reach. You never know. You never know when somebody's going to make you flush a toilet. In Florida, which in Florida doesn't matter because you flush a toilet, it usually just ends up, in the in the drain out behind your house.
Wow. I need to know more backstory on the relationship between the two people.
Backstory.
Like legitimately, I want to know because if it was just someone who's randomly at your house, but
right, it's had to have been his cousin or something.
Yeah, it's
'cause everybody has that cousin that is not going to flush and is probably going to get mad if you call him on it.
Was this couldn't have been the first time this was brought up.
Wait,
There
Ryan?
has to be more listen. I'm not gonna flush. This is who Keith is.
Yeah, it's just
all right. This is who Keith does not flush. I'm a busy guy.
I will cut you if you ask me to do that again.
I told you.
Dang it.
There's only 2 things that I love in this world, and you know it. It's not flushing
And a good
and
machete.
a machete. All right.
Yep, everybody knows Keith down in Florida. That's just don't invite him into your house
Man.
because things are gonna escalate.
Yeah, Keith's
really
gonna
quickly.
Keith.
Yeah.
All right, that's just how that is. Keith's gonna Keith.
It's so much that it's his own verb now.
Exactly.
Were you going to say something, Charlie?
No, I was going to make a bad joke, and it's not worth it. I got nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the banter. This is beautiful.
They don't give pork chops Oscars.
Nice segue, Don.
Yeah, exactly. That's where. But a British man recently purchased one that could rival actor Rami Malek's in the portrayal of Freddie Mercury. Derek Sims was cooking dinner for himself and his wife when he suddenly looked at a pork chop frying in the pan and saw an image of Queen's lead singer staring right back in his face. I've never seen anything like it, the 47-year-old engineer told the British news agency SWNS. I've cooked a lot of things and lived a lot of years, but I've never seen food resemble a celebrity before.
Hold on, I gotta look this crap up. Oh shoot!
It looks
Probably-
nothing like Freddie Mercury, to be honest with you. As I saw,
Did
a
you look
picture,
at it?
Yeah, it doesn't. It looks like a pork chop.
Yeah, it's like things like that. I always believe, like 100% of the time, it's confirmation bias.
Exactly.
Like
He was-
human
yeah.
being, like there's like whatever the it's the biological thing where like humans are basically programmed to see faces and things.
Yeah,
That's
I
why,
think
like,
that-
if you
yeah.
see, like, you know, a building that has 2 windows, like, you can be like, oh, it looks like a smiling face or whatever. People just want to see things in
That
things.
doesn't
They
look.
they want to think it's something more important.
that the-
It doesn't,
Yeah.
does it? Looks nothing like it.
What?
Vaguely.
No,
Very-
no.
yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Like, it looks like Freddie Mercury if you're told this is supposed to look like Freddie Mercury.
Right.
So
If
you
it
can
was-
kind of, like, okay, like, you can force yourself to see it, but that's not. It looks delicious.
What?
Yep, he said we looked at it for a minute or two, but we're both hungry, so I ended up eating it. I'm a big fan. I never saw him live, but would have loved to, and probably might have taken a bite out of him. I don't know.
Wow. So, do you guys have that condition where, like, you see faces in things randomly?
Yeah, I think
That's
most
an
people
actual
do. I think that's
condition? I
like
don't
human
know.
It
beings
is.
are. Yeah.
Because yes, I do.
There's.
You know,
Hold on, and I need to look that up. What is that called?
seeing a face.
Seeing
It's called living.
Yes, it's called
seeing
people have
faces and
faces.
things. No,
and
it's
you-
called pareidolia. The science behind seeing faces in everyday objects.
All right.
Yeah. I also see other things everywhere I go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What other things?
What do you think? See them everywhere.
Yeah. New Hampshire woman is.
No, nothing. Go on. Go on.
Did I need to comment on that? Do we
yeah,
need to
I
know
really-
what else
I
you
was
see? 'Cause
leaving
I
that
think
wide
I
open for
think
you.
Yeah, I thought the awkward silence did all the comments
Exactly,
needed
yeah,
right
sometimes
after, so I think that,
Guys, I'm out.
like that.
Throws the mic on the couch. I'm going to go not flush.
Yep. Get the machete
Now,
out.
now, if you think I won't cut you up with a machete,
Can you handle a machete
oh,
safely?
you'd be surprised. Well, in that situation, it doesn't need to be safe.
Right. There's nothing safe about the machete.
Yeah,
at that point.
if you're gonna hack someone up with a machete, I don't know if safety is really the biggest concern with.
Television.
Well, we're just worried.
Ryan
we would-
Niemiller
yeah,
with an
yeah, we would-
unruly machete.
We would just worry that it turned on yourself accidentally. That's-
Like, that shows how sweet you are, Charlie. In this hypothetical where I was going to attack you with
Yep,
this
you were
machete,
more-
you were worried
more
about if
concerned
I
with
was
your
going to be
safety.
okay. Like, you go, well, don't cut yourself. Like, be very careful.
Yep. Charlie's so sweet.
Exactly.
That's why we
So
love her here on the live because
She's
she
like,
always
give me the
thinks of
machete.
others.
I'll
Yeah.
do it myself. I'll take
Yeah,
care
but
of
safer.
that.
We don't want TV Ryan Niemiller hurt by a
Yeah, you got
machete
some
intended
big
for-
things coming up right now. Let me do this for you.
Yep,
You
in fact-
can't.
in
You
fact,
can't lose any more fingers.
Yep.
You don't have them to
Yeah,
spare.
yeah, I'm already at bare minimum.
Yep. In fact, just
I'm gonna-
hand it to Don. He has nothing.
Yeah. Man, if I lose one more finger, I need a full-time caretaker. I need I am just at the literal lowest point of like usefulness as a human.
Oh my god, I love you so much. Okay.
Okay. Well, this next news story is for you, Charlie. This-
Okay, give me a second. I need to get
Okay.
control.
Recover.
Okay.
Recover. Okay. Are you with us? All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Deep breath. Okay.
I kind of have to pee, but I'm good.
Okay. Well, this news story, like I said, is for you. A New Hampshire woman is fighting the State Department of Motor Vehicles over her 15-year-old vanity license plate showing a common parental phrase. SeacoastOnline.com reports Wendy Auger of Rochester has been asked to surrender the plate, which reads, "Pee before we go." The state says... The state says phrases related to excretory acts aren't permitted. Auger's appealing. She asked, who has a mom or dad or parental figure who hasn't said that to the kids before leaving the house, or to Charlie. She's one of 92 New Hampshire drivers who received vanity plate recall letters this year. State records show there are 152,028 vanity plates on the road in New Hampshire. But apparently pee before we go is
That's
too
so
much
dumb.
for New Hampshire.
That's like just solid life advice. That's not offensive.
Exactly,
Everybody pees.
exactly. Yeah, I think that's the problem there in New Hampshire. They don't want to admit that.
What else do they have going on in New Hampshire?
pretty much nothing.
They
I
get
think that's
literally
it. Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, just
Wow.
yeah.
That's yes.
Yeah. It was someone's job to go through the database
Right.
of the 150 some thousand.
Well, see,
Right, and catch things that they didn't catch the first time,
Exactly.
or every other of the 15.
this is my
years.
backup plan if comedy doesn't pan out for me.
Is you're going to be a license plate, vanity plate
Inspector,
checker?
yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I'm going to find all the dirty ones.
Yeah,
So,
but you're not.
And you're
going to
recall them so
Yeah.
that you can have them.
Right.
Yes.
Just have a-
Because I think
a
that's
room.
one that you should have.
no, I'm just going to ask them to send their plates back in, and then I'm just going to put them on a wall, all of them, in all their glory.
in your shrine.
Yes.
Like that one's so like pick your battles, New Hampshire. Like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some that got through just because it's bureaucracy and like
Right.
things just happen. I'm sure
Right.
there's some that are legitimately like, yeah, let's get this back. That is so
Yeah, that one's
relatively.
not one that's not.
Anyone who's offended by that deserves their offense.
My
they
They've earned
because they deserve to have a really bad day because they're always miserable.
If I wasn't so cheap, I would have gotten vanity plates on the Prius, and I know exactly what I wanted because it would have gotten through. I wanted to put Shine 69 because it rhymes,
That's a good
and
one.
you know, shining is my thing. That's because I always So, but
Right.
yeah, I had to have that 69 on there because priorities.
But in order for you to get that, you'd probably have to up your price to 50.
I would. You'd be paying for content at that point in time.
We'll get it covered. We'll get it covered
It's-
some way. Some way. Wiley's will sponsor.
I'm going to
get
roll
back.
up in my Prius with angel wings in it and a new license plate. They're like, give me the money. Give me the money, Don.
I'm here for my 50.
I got a machete in the back. I mean business.
Yep. Oh, let's see. Here's another fun one. Police in suburban Houston are looking for a woman who used a power tool to break into a Botox clinic and steal anti-aging products.
Amen.
Sugarland police say surveillance cameras captured the burglary Friday night at the Botox RNMD spa. The footage shows a woman approaching a locked door of the spa and trying unsuccessfully to open it. She then retrieves a battery-powered grinding saw from a light-colored Mercedes SUV, because what Mercedes SUV does not have the optional grinding saw, and uses it to cut into the clinic's front door. Authorities say the woman stole an undisclosed amount of products from the clinic before driving away. Anyone with information is asked to contact Sugarland Police, although she probably looks much younger now. It's harder to get from the video surveillance because she looks so much younger.
Like the first thing that I think of when I hear that is like, she's driving a Mercedes. Why does she need to steal? Is Botox that expensive
that
that you have to like?
It's not cheap to look good.
But either is a Mercedes.
Well,
So how did you?
That's true. Yeah, if you,
We should probably find out where she got that Mercedes first, and then
see what she used to cut
Hell
into
no,
the dealership to get that.
Exactly.
I'm going to track
Probably
her down and
machete.
get discount Botox. Are you kidding me?
Gosh.
The only way my face is going to
Well, yeah,
recover.
because if she's trying to pay that Mercedes off, she's probably going to need the money.
Yeah.
That might have been what it was.
That
you
could
know.
be. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
insane.
it
I
all
mean,
makes
but
sense.
like I know people do that though. Like I grew up in a.
You said doo-doo.
You too. High quality content.
Absolutely,
You're
absolutely.
really getting our $40 worth today, Don. We're really getting our.
Yep, I'm asking for a refund on that one. But
No, I grew up in a trailer park, and like you would see that kind of stuff all the time, though, where like people would live in like a falling apart trailer, but would own a $60,000 car.
Yep.
because that's just what their priority was. It was I'm going to spend all this money on the vehicle and then live in a house where the floors are falling apart.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
why not?
insane how people work on that.
Yeah.
See, I'm never home, so I should have done that.
Yeah, so-
I'm never home. I'm like home like 2 minutes a day, and that's all I sleep, and then I'm gone again. So
Right.
I should have done that. I should. It wouldn't matter where I should.
No,
just like,
Don, you're putting that money into Wiley's.
Yeah, I know. That's,
Yeah.
That's
You
why
have-
I should have just lived in a trailer instead of just buying a home.
No, we're just going to make the green room an apartment for you.
That'll work. That'll
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know some comedy people that basically more or less live in their clubs and stuff like that because they're just there so much. And
Yeah,
there's
we
worse
had
than-
a latchkey kid at Wiley's for
No,
a while.
really?
Still do, baby doll. Still
Yeah,
do.
that's true. That's well, yeah. I made you keep it. I made you keep the
I
keys.
know, thank you.
Because you're coming back. All right, I think we have time for one more news story. Let me see what we got here. One
it's
more.
Going too fast.
It
This
always
is very
does.
upsetting to me.
It always does. That's the way it works when you have fun. Because this is the
Amen.
most fun any of us have had in forever.
I don't know. This has felt like an eternity for me. So I don't know.
I give up.
I just lost a lot of votes there. Like that guy,
You
he was
You
fun
just
until
lost
the very end.
7,000 votes,
Yeah.
He
Ryan.
was so mean.
Yeah,
to that,
in
that
the
host.
last 10 minutes, he said he was bored and threatened to murder people with a machete. I don't know if we.
I don't need $40 that bad.
Let's see. A Welsh driver was ordered to pay a fine after he was caught. This actually sounds like it should be a Florida story, but it's not. A Welsh driver was ordered to pay a fine after he was caught on video transporting a disabled car by balancing it on the roof of another car. Gwynwer Wynne Richards, 51, pleaded guilty in the magistrate's court. I'm not going to try to say the name of the town because I can't speak Welsh. He pled guilty to using a vehicle with a load likely to cause danger of injury after he was caught on video driving his Volkswagen Passat with a Skoda Octavia strapped to its roof. Richards had been driving through an industrial estate in Wales when he told the court he transported the car less than 1,000 feet. He admitted the stunt was a, quote, stupid thing to do. Richards was given 3 penalty points on his driver's license and ordered to pay a $97 fine and $140 in court costs, which doesn't sound like that much for something that dumb.
Yeah, and
There should be a little more fine for being that stupid.
Like I need to know more about how he got it on the roof.
That's just what I was thinking.
Like-
That's
especially
impressive.
to only go 1,000 feet with it. You would think if you're going to expel that much effort to get a car on top of your car, you'd want to drive around more so people can see that.
Yeah, that's it. It's. I don't even have anything funny to say about it. Like, I just want to see the process of that. Like I can't even install like the rack that you're supposed to have. Like how do you get an entire other car on your car?
Yeah.
It takes a special kind of Welsh magic.
Exactly.
I think that's what.
And by the way, I was also offended that they called it a disabled car.
I was wondering about that.
It's a car that is disabled. That's how you're supposed to phrase that, Don.
Yeah.
So just make
well,
sure.
I didn't write the article. I was just reading it as written. So we'll have to complain to who.
I'm right here. You're in my home.
Man.
Terrible.
Well, it's been great having you on and being able to completely offend you by the end of this, because that was my goal.
No, and it worked.
But
remember, I'm going to be at your club in like 2 weeks after.
I was going to ask you for a guest set. I'm pretty sure that's out now.
Oh no! I'll have my machete. It'll be ready.
Although, well, at Wiley's, sometimes it's best not to flush because we've. Charlie's last times there, we had a major flood back there. So.
If you look at your Facebook messages, I sent you a picture from last night that you will find very interesting.
Okay,
because there was another toilet that was broken.
So it's not just
there.
our club.
I know.
Perfect. Okay, good.
I just break toilets
Everywhere you go.
But it's not me. I'm just peeing.
Well, Charlie, was good to have you on as well,
Yeah.
and we'll have you back on here shortly because I'm going to be making the $40 drive over
Yes,
to
you
pick
are.
up my massage chair.
Thank you. Yes,
Which-
Don bought my massage chair.
Oh,
Yeah,
fancy!
I know.
Yeah,
And he's going to sit in it, and he's going to be like, "This is the best money I've ever spent."
exactly.
That is one of the eccentric. When I win the million, when I win,
Yes.
America's Got Talent.
Yes.
Win.
Like that. That's what I'll do with money. That's why I'm almost scared to win this thing. Is like I know a lot of people will be like, oh, they're gonna buy a ton of cars and do all like this bad. Like I'm gonna be like, I want to buy 6 massage chairs. So I have one for every day, and then Sunday I rest.
Yes.
I'm gonna be an idiot with my money.
No, but see, that almost makes me want you to win it even more.
Yeah.
Because
Just see what dumb things I'll do.
yeah, you're gonna do like a entire bookshelf with a ladder, and you're going to have like a hidden room.
Oh, absolutely.
All the fun stuff. That
Yeah,
you
I basically I
Yeah.
want the house from Clue.
Yes.
Basically, is what I want there to be like secret tunnels and stairways to nothing.
A walk-in freezer.
A trap door
with
that
a
if I
dead
don't like
body
dinner
in it.
guests, I can be. Oh, you don't want to flush?
You basically the
Go.
Winchester House out in California.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
what that is. Right
That is
there.
what
That
I
would be
want.
Fun. Yeah. that would-
Love it.
Well, thanks for coming on. You're going to be at Wiley's September 20th and 21st. Looking
Yes.
forward to that, and looking forward to everybody that's listening to this and everybody that sees you on America's Got Talent to push you through to the finals.
Yes,
Yes.
I'll remind people one more time. So the voting opens at 8 p.m. Eastern on September 10th, Tuesday night. Closes at 7 a.m. on Wednesday morning. You can vote at NBC.com/AGT vote through the AGT app, or if you have Xfinity, you can do it through the Xfinity remote as well.
All right, perfect. Well, thanks for joining us. We're going to go ahead and sign off here, and we'll see you here shortly because I can't remember who's next. So it'll be somebody, probably somebody local to Dayton. That's
Edit
not
it in
gonna be-
post.
Yeah,
Somebody
exactly,
not on
exactly.
AGT. That's for
That's-
darn sure.
That's for sure. All right. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Life Radio Show podcast. Check it out wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, if you want to listen live, we are on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM. You can also stream the show live at wwsu1069.org, and we go Facebook Live at the Life Radio Show's Facebook page. If you have suggestions or comments, feel free to email thelife1069@gmail.com.
Presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
Shut your face.